Hey everyone, thanks for coming back. This is video number 4. So this whole thing is under the umbrella, so to say, of thinking about what you need to consider before you start your business. Like I said before, this is I'm using the example of SFM as your business type, but this applies to everything because SFM is a business, just like whether you're opening a hair salon or a factory to produce cement or something. It all applies. So in the previous videos, what we were looking at was mindset, money, and the cloud, and we're going a little bit deeper here to take a look at you personally, or me personally, because essentially what I'm doing is I'm sharing my journey with you. So what we're talking about are the things that I'm going through as I build my business, because the reason I keep saying journey is because there is no solution. There's no, like Matrix, take the blue pill or the red pill. The red or the blue pill is kind of the exit or entrance to the game. The rest of it's a journey. So with that as the mindset to get started here, when we think about the who, and obviously we're going to talk about the what, when, why, how in subsequent videos. But what I want to point out here is that you'll always have supporters, you'll have detractors, and you'll have yourself. So those are the three main categories of things to think about. So, and the door just magically opened because one of my cats just came in. Can't script that. So yeah, when we talk about our supporters, it's important to literally be able to identify your supporters. And what I'm talking about there are people who are fully on board with you in building your business. So the reason it's important to be able to literally identify them is you're going to need moral support, spiritual support, sometimes financial support from these people who are your supporters. And it's good to be able to go to them to kind of rally the troops, or kind of get yourself going again, because like I said, it's a journey. It's not something you do for one day and then check out. So be sure to build your list of supporters and cultivate those relationships, because again, it's a journey, and it's important to be able to have people that you can count on. Now, the other piece that I want to point out are your detractors. And obviously, there's going to be a continuum. There are going to be some people who support you sometimes and don't support you others. There are going to be people that throw stones at you sometimes and don't throw stones at you others. But I'm just trying to make this kind of simple at the beginning here. So just like you have your list of supporters, you don't need to make a list of your detractors. Just be aware that there are certain negative Nancys and Donnie Downers that are just always going to be throwing stones at you. So just know who they are. Realize that they have their own story. They've got their own situation that's kind of producing this negativity and doubt and lack of support. So know who they are. Do as best you can to keep them at arm's length. Like in my case, some of them are within my family, or extended family, so it's kind of hard to completely keep them at arm's length. But just know that there's no converting them. There's no, I have not found any easy or simple way to convert them to my way of thinking. So the simple thing is just that rather than pouring my energy into try to convert somebody, just like let them be who they are. And the saying, so one of my mentors says, don't force pigs to sing. And what that means is that I'm sure within a pig's mind, they probably have a way of singing that makes them happy. But from a human perspective, trying to have a human train a pig to sing frustrates the human and makes the pig angry, because they're just two things that can't be done. And there's my cat. So there's one of them. Say hello. That's Sydney. Fun with animals. So the next thing I want to jump onto is is to know yourself. So the reason this is important is just to be aware of where you are as you're traveling along this journey. Like for me, I tend to be a very logical male, and that has its strengths, but I also need to develop or I am developing the intuitive side of my being, which to me, at least from people that I've known in my life, the most powerful, intuitive people are people like my wife, she has a logical side, but she has a great intuitive strength to her as well. So she can just kind of quickly size up a situation and in her gut or in her intuition realize that the best path to move forward. And then there's introspective. So there's introspection, which is looking inside yourself, and I tend to be more introspective versus extrospective, looking at the world outside. And again, that's, to continue the example, my wife is more extrospective. She's taking in the world outside, whereas I tend to be looking more in. So as I go on my journey, I'm looking to develop both. And then the next would be being teachable, trainable, coachable, mind and spirit. So the reason I mention this in terms of knowing yourself is that if you arrive at the beginning of your business journey and you say, well, I'm kind of teachable, I don't really like to be taught, I don't want to be trained and I don't want to be coached. I just want to own a business. I want to make $1 million or make $1 billion and sit on a beach and sip margaritas. Well, and sometimes that happens, but I would say that this is another accelerant. Like at the top, we talked about money being an accelerant, and money is an accelerant. Another accelerant in this whole program is the extent to which you're teachable, trainable, coachable, both in mind and in spirit. And if you have a question about the differentiation between the two, let me know. But the point is that there are very few people on the planet who literally know it all. So the way to flip that over is to say that the huge majority of people on the planet need to be teachable. They need to be taught things. They need to be trained in how to do certain tactics. They need to be coached on mindset and all these other things. So this is an accelerator. And if you find that this kind of chafes against you and you don't like it, you'll probably have a hard time being a business owner. So the next piece is strategy, and we're almost done, almost through with this video. See, we're at the 7-minute mark here, past that, coming up on number 8. So the next bit is strategy. So what we're thinking of here is to be realistic with what you know and what you need to learn. And it's okay if the list is very long. We all start our journey at different places. So the reason I suggest that you whatever business you want to start, like if you're starting a factory to produce Portland cement or something, then make the list of everything. So bookkeeping, accounting, being the leader of the company, meaning you have to do human resource functions, you've got to do strategy, all those things, because again, it's a business. So just like with SFM, it's online marketing and advertising. So be realistic with yourself about your list of strengths. What do you know? Like, have you, to what extent have you done work on the internet? Have you created websites? Are you a graphic designer? Whether it's digital or hand-drawn things, are you a salesperson? Just make your list of strengths, and so that way, as you go into your business, you're confident, like you know what you're able to do, so that when you see new things, you just add them to your list. That's what I do. So, and again, just realize it's a journey. You don't need to finish the journey in one day. It is by definition something that will span your life. That's what you're doing. You're creating a lifestyle business. At least that's what I'm doing. So last thing, honest. is the tactics, and that's the same as, it's just a different version of the strategy. Just be realistic about the work you've literally done. Have you literally created websites? Have you literally done paid advertising? Have you literally done email marketing? So just be realistic, make the list of things that you've done, and if you haven't done them, that's great too, because again, one of the beauties of SFM is that their training is both deep and wide. They cover all of it, so it's a great, fabulous resource. And so again, you just make your list, stay calm, and know that you're going to get through it. And the last thing that I'm going to mention here is, let's try this. There we go. That's a little bit better. That whether you're an entrepreneur, business owner, relationship developer, so all of these things are actually, they're both strategic and tactical. But my point is that as you're just going through your day-to-day life, observe other entrepreneurs and kind of compare yourself to them. Not that one is better than the other. Like if you look at Elon Musk and you're like, wow, that's an amazing entrepreneur, business owner, all that, and he's like, this big, and you feel like you're this big. Well, that's okay. He had to start his journey somewhere too. So all I'm saying is that just kind of observe these entrepreneurs and their characteristics, their attributes, and all these things. Make your list and just set your intention, set your mindset to learn about that, to be teachable, coachable, and all those things. Same things with business owners, or more tactically marketing things. So when you see advertisements on TV, or when you read about marketing campaigns on a website or in a magazine or a newspaper, take notes about it. Help to kind of get it straight in your mind about the parts of their marketing campaign that resonate with you or don't. So you just, over the course of time, in the real world, you'll be training yourself and gaining examples. So I'll stop there. So we're about 12 minutes in. Thank you very much for your attention, and I look forward to talking with you in the next video.